The fashion industry, when I think back, it has showed me pete. Look, I have a story for you guys, but I'm so glad of my experiences because it's made me who I am today. I have suffered in this fashion industry. I have a lot of Nigerian friends, so my pidgin is becoming more Nigerian than Ghanaian. There's a saying that goes, if you know my story, you will understand the glory. Okay? So it was like 2019, I own a fashion brand, Koshio. I'd go to shows and get into stores and stuff like that. It took a long time. But by 2018, 2019, I'd started to see a little bit of success and we were in about 30 stores by this time. I was projecting that by 2020, we should have been in about 100 stores plus. So that was what I was projecting. That was what I was working towards. So 2019, for somewhere in February, there was a trade show. Trade show is a place where you go, you rent a booth, and then you get buyers that come there. Now, these shows can be very, very expensive. So it costs maybe about $8,000 to $10,000. Your 10 by 10 booth will be about $8,000, but your flight, your food, your hotel, and everything, let's just say about $10,000. So it's a big commitment to go and do a trade show when the buyers come. So that's where all the big name buyers come, even the department stores. Everybody goes to the trade show. That year, look, it was very dry. A lot of buyers didn't show up. Other designers that were also at the show were quite disappointed. These are more established brands. So if they are disappointed, I made zero. I didn't even make one kobo. Imagine you spent $8,000 to $10,000 and you don't have one kobo to your name. Some of those bills, I'm even still paying them. When you see me, like, pray for me, okay? Basically, I didn't make $1. Very deflating. Some people in the industry also didn't make as much, but they are, because they are so established, they're not making as much. Maybe it will be $100,000 in sales or $200,000 in sales. That way they complain about that because they are bigger brands. I don't want to say them here, but you would know who they are. I came back deflated. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back in the fall. And in the fall show, if you do get orders, you distribute it in January. And mind you, I had a plan that I was going to get into 100 plus stores. I actually did another show in the summer and added about, 7 stores to the 30 stores that I already had. But we hadn't made a sale yet. The fall, I decided I'm going to do the show because I had a plan. I had a vision of what I was going to do. I had a vision of 100 stores by 2020 December. Let me show you a trick. A trick to make it at the trade show is to align with a showroom. What they do is they have mini brands in one huge booth and everybody pays for the space. You might not get a 10 by 10 space, but everybody pays for the space and it is the same cost. It doesn't even cut the cost. But the reason why that is advantageous is that a showroom already has buyers coming. So when they come, if your product is nice, you have them stop by your booth. Instead of being like a needle in a haystack, being in some one corner, unless you've been in the industry or they've seen you for a while. So I called my connect. I was like, hey, do you guys have space in your booth? He was like, nah, I don't think so. But if something comes up, I'm gonna let you know. I was waiting and he didn't have the space. But it didn't make sense to go get my own booth when you don't have a long list of buyers that are already coming to see you. So I said, you know what, that $10,000 that I paid a few months ago, I've not even recouped that money. I'm going to sit this one out and then I'll probably do January with them. Hey,
when you're not really fine.
When they finished that show, I called one of my designer friends. He said, look, we made so much money. Hey, he was excited. They had made over $1 million in sales. I just collapsed because is this my family witches in the village that are doing this to me? The time is time to make sales. I was not there. I didn't get space. About year 9, 10 to face this kind of thing. Maybe I'm not meant to do this. The first time I went, no buyer showed up. The second time that business was booming, I didn't get space to showcase. In fact, I was so deflated. And they called me like, oh, they made so much money that they even bought luxury purses and they bought things for the workers at the show. Like, oh, wow, thank you for putting me in a good position or a good spot. I mean, man, that was very deflating. But guess what? This show that I missed was in the fall. When they order the stuff in the fall, it's for spring. So they are expecting delivery from January to March. You have to go straight into production after the show. This is where it gets tricky. If you've got a number of units that have been ordered, you have to go into manufacturing. That means you have to come up with your own money. When you come up with your money and you order these things and they are done, what happens is they're going to ship it to your warehouse, or they're going to ship it to the department stores or wherever has ordered. My friends, they went and ordered and everything. I didn't even have anything to order. It was a very dry Christmas for me. Guess what? Come January, everything was still fine. They were getting ready to come and send their things to the stores. Then February, the lockdown. All the stores started to cancel their orders one by one. And when they cancel their orders, they're not going to pay you. People will go crazy. They are small fish. So they've ordered 1 million, 1.5 million. Imagine big brands that they've ordered 10, 15, 20 million dollars worth of goods, and they have to shut down their stores. It was crazy in the fashion industry. You are stuck with inventory. That's the worst thing. You've paid the factories. It wasn't my family, which is after all. I tell this story to express the challenges, and also we have to be patient in life when things are not going the way that we expect it to go. Sometimes you are being saved from some calamity or despair. If I had gotten a big order, I would have had to go and get a loan. Suffer to get a loan. So imagine I'll go and get a loan. I'll go and produce this thing, $100,000 or $200,000, $300,000. I'll go and get this, and they cancel. Hey, I'm finished. As time goes on, I'll share certain stories, and you can get lessons from this. This is the Afritude movement. We have an African attitude here. We are proud of our African heritage, our African ancestry. You know, if you have to go to africanancestry.com and you have to go check your blood, you are of African descent. This video is for you too. I'm not eliminating our brothers and sisters that were forcefully taken from the continent and distributed all over the world. Jamaicans, Americans, I'm not discounting any of you. When I use Afritude, African attitude, you are all in it with me, okay? So this is the Afritude movement.